Bahakel Sports presents the Delano Little Show.
Welcome to Bahakel Sports, the Delano Little Show. I am here today. We're talking soccer with Tim Schuldt, COO and President of the Charlotte Independents. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And we talked yesterday in a conference call. That's right, we have conference calls at Bahakel Sports. We're a big deal. And we were talking about the fact that I said, you know, out of all the time that I spent in sports, 29 years plus, soccer was not one of my biggest interests, and I wasn't as knowledgeable about sports as far as soccer is concerned. And you mentioned a little bit that you weren't necessarily either, but you've certainly done very well for yourself with it, correct?
I've had a good time, that's for sure. When I was a kid, I grew up in Iowa, and soccer for us was a one-week gym class. They rolled out these strange balls, and we kicked them around for a while and tried to figure out how to throw them with two hands over our head, and then they put them away, and we didn't see them for another year. So we never grew up playing soccer. But a few years ago, I got involved with the team and was asked to come to work for them. And I would just tell you that the greatest part is our players. They've been amazing young men of character and just awesome to work with. No prima donnas, just blue-collar guys that want to move up the soccer ranks. And so it's been pretty easy to fall in love with the game and support them along the way.
All right. Now, I don't want to get too far away from your personal life, but I want to talk about the team first, and then we'll come back, and because you have a very interesting story as far as marketing is concerned. But you've been involved with them. How long have you been involved with the Charlotte Independents now?
I started in 2019, and I did a little consulting for my friend Dimick and and later in the year, he asked if I would be willing to come on board and help in a full-time capacity because he was preparing for the consolidation of 3 youth clubs into what is one of the nation's largest and most successful youth clubs in this city. And we also had our new stadium coming online. And he said, I need someone who can package the team, the youth club, and the stadium and take it to market and help us grow our business. And so it was an exciting opportunity to kind of start from the ground up as we brought those assets together and take it to market. And it's been fun.
Now, last year you had a pretty good run in the Champions League, USL Champions League, and then you decided to drop down to the USL League One division, which is, you said to me, kind of like AAA of baseball, if you will.
Yeah, it's equivalent to a AAA club in baseball. And League One, a little more focus on player development and helping those players move up the ranks. They're trying to get to championship, MLS, maybe play abroad. And there's more focus on that. So that tends to be a little bit younger age. USL Championship, teams really focus more on winning the championship. Some veteran players maybe moving down, and then some a little bit older guys one step away from the MLS trying to move up. But I would say this, all of our guys at League One and our coaches, they want to win, and so do we. Mike Jeffries has done another fantastic job of assembling a really good team this year. Not only are we going to help develop some of those young men for their next step, but we plan on competing for the League One championship as well.
Yeah, I find that interesting. That's the goal, is to build people, to build character, to build, I guess, how they play, and to give them an opportunity. They come in there, do you know immediately which ones have the shot or which ones could be going to MLS perhaps? Or
I would leave that to our experts on the coaching and player development side. Being in the front office, I'm more of a fan, and I can certainly see athleticism and speed and strength and things of that nature that make for a good athlete. And you can see some of those guys for sure on the field. And we have some of them. You'll meet one a little bit later who's a fantastic young man who has a great promise in his future in soccer. But to your point, very important that we have high character guys and they're great teammates because they're all working towards the same goal. And the way to get there is not only to perform individually, but to show that you can be a great teammate and perform as a team. And we have a roster chock full of young, hungry, high character guys this year, and they're really easy to cheer for.
And they're playing pretty well, and that's good. I mean, if you are trying to entice people to come out to this to watch the team when they're at home, and they got 15 home games, so to
Correct.
speak, and 15 on the road. So a good chance because it's very early in the season, correct?
That's correct. We've got 11 games left. We've got a doubleheader with our W League women's team this Sunday on May 15th, and then we have another doubleheader May 18th. We go on the road for a little bit and then come back on June 26th and round out 9 more games as we finish up the season at home.
And what would you tell people that are on the verge of, I'd like to go see soccer. It's the most popular sport, right? I want to go out there and see it, but there's so many different opportunities to spend your dollar now with MLS now in town, and I mean, we got a lot of teams in this area.
Hickory Crawdads, we have 9 professional teams in a metro area of about 3 million people. So everybody's scratching and clawing for their share of the, discretionary income. And what I would say is one of our key principles and how we're running our business is to keep our game accessible to everyone. And that is a balance of us serving the community through clinics and helping people come to games at no cost in some instances. If economic barriers prohibit them from being able to get there, we don't want that to be. So we're working with community organizations to do more of that. But also for a family of 4, a family of 4 can come and have 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Pepsis, $99. Being accessible, you can translate that easy to get to. Our location's fantastic, right in the middle of the city. But financially well within most people's means. And you literally can come to one of our games for a family of 4 for the same cost with concessions as going to a movie. And we're going to try to maintain that as long as we can because we want everybody to enjoy this game and have access to it.
That's a pretty big deal there, no doubt about that. Now, and another thing that I was surprised at was how much community work you all do as far as and you're bringing up future stars of tomorrow, even at a younger age, and you're paying attention to them, and I think that's pretty important. And you share some of that a little?
Sure, I'd love to. I would say, there's a couple of things that we're trying to do with the kids primarily, and one of them is our youth academy. We have about 12,000 kids in that academy throughout the city, and everywhere from rec to the highest levels of youth competitive soccer. We've even won national championships at our youth academy. Thomas Finley does an amazing job developing young people of character and great soccer players. And so we really try to take our players to their practices and to their tournaments and drop in and surprise them and work out with them and just have fun with them. And they share the same kit. They wear the same jersey as our guys do, and we want them to aspire to get there. So we're trying to build that connection. The other thing is we're dedicated with some of our corporate partners to do several community clinics where we bring the game to the kids, usually in economically challenged areas that we're trying to just bless and trying to live out our mission, which is to make Charlotte a better place to live through sports. So we bring the players, we bring the equipment, we bring lunch. Our friends at Pepsi give us Gatorade and water, and we feed the kids a good lunch. They get to play with our players for a couple of hours, and we just have a great time with them. We did one yesterday with 80 kids. Every one of them walked away with a new jersey. And so, again, we want them to know that anything's possible and that we're here to help them reach their dreams. So it's a lot of fun. And then, of course, we do other things. We wear special jerseys a few nights a year, and players sign those, and we auction them off for local charities. We'll do one for Men's Health, one for Military Appreciation, and one for breast cancer this year. And then we'll do a massive coat drive and food drive around the holidays as well. So
you guys really are doing a lot, aren't you?
We really try to. I mean, we're small and we're lean, but we got big hearts, and we love our community, and we feel blessed to be able to work in sports. And so we really want to try to make an impact on the city with the resources that we do have. And so, every week in my staff meeting, that's a big portion of our discussions about philanthropic efforts and how are we doing there and what's next. And looking out ahead and making sure that we got a good plan to to serve the community.
And if the team just happens to win a championship, that's fine, right?
That'd be gravy. Yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah, we would take that. We're playing well. We've beat some teams that were projected to be some of the best in League One. We've gone on the road and tied a couple of times, which is it's always good to bring a point home. Better to bring 3 points home on the road, but anytime you can go on the road and play a really talented team and come home with 1 point, that's a win. And we've been able to do that too. So I really like the way our team has come together. Mike's gone out literally all over the world, Colombia, Venezuela, Europe, United States, and put together and assembled a very talented group of young men. And I think the more they play together, just like last year, we gelled late and we made a fantastic run. I think as these guys get a chance to play more and more together, they're just going to get better and better. And we're already seeing some guys really step forward in their careers. And with the opportunity they've been given, playing some fantastic and dynamic soccer to watch.
That's great. We're interested in meeting one of your players, a captain, coming up here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back and talk to you about a little bit about your personal life and how you got to where you are. And a lot of people would probably be interested. You've done some pretty unique things as far as marketing is concerned. So we'll be right back. Delaney Little's show will be right back. Stay with us. And we're back with Bahakel Sports, the Delano Little Show. I'm here with Tim Schuldt, COO and President of Charlotte Independence. And it's been before it was the Charlotte Eagles, but then you guys took over from the Charlotte Eagles, correct?
Correct. Our ownership group actually bought the rights to the USL team from the Charlotte Eagles back around 2014. Eagles still exist. They do a great job with what they're doing. They serve the Lord and use soccer as a way to reach the unsaved, and they do a fantastic job. And they're part of USL League 2, and we purchased the rights to have USL Championship in League 1 in this geography, and so we coexist in town and try to help build the game of soccer together.
Beautiful thing coexisting, isn't it, and working with each other.
It's a lot.
It really builds a lot of chemistry and championships sometimes.
There's a lot to learn from soccer. It is a very communal sport, and it's fiercely competitive on the field and things, but I've met a lot of good souls that have the game in mind first and doing what's right for the game, and I found that to be unique and refreshing, quite frankly.
Why do you think it's so popular?
Well, I think it's obviously it's the primary sport in Central, South America, and Europe, and many parts of the globe. And many of our kids have grown up being American football fans because their fathers and mothers are American football fans. And our boys tend to play that sport first, and then basketball, baseball, and such. I think the neat thing about soccer, as our women's national team has propelled to such amazing success, winning the World Cup multiple times, winning the Olympics, that some of those incredibly talented ladies have become household names.
And now getting equal pay, too.
Yeah, and they have equal pay as well. And they've helped elevate the sport. And this collegiate age generation is really the first generation where soccer is what I would call a primary sport offered at high school levels. And so you see 7 to 8 million kids now playing soccer growing up in the United States, and that rivals baseball and softball combined. It's many more than football, rivals basketball, boys and girls combined. So this next generation is going to bring soccer to the forefront of sports, the forefront of sports on TV, and frankly, also soccer's ability to be leveraged by corporate partners to reach those folks. And I think the more generations that come, it's going to become just more rabid of fans because they grow up with it. They grow up playing it. Their parents played it now, because a lot of the kids that are in college right now, their parents never played soccer. So they don't have that common bond
right.
With their parents in playing the game together and sharing that passion together. And a lot of the parents are passionate about watching their kids play soccer, but doesn't translate as well because they never played it. That shared passion, I think, will propel the sport to tremendous growth for the next 10 to 15, 20 years, really.
Now, growing up, you said you didn't do soccer much. We used to do something called speedball. It was like which you could use your hands and grab it. When I lived in Colorado, and basically that was my, I guess, introduction to a little bit of soccer, but not much. In that situation, you didn't grow up. What was your favorite sport growing up?
Well, I grew up in a small town in Iowa, and I'm only about 5 feet tall, so I'm vertically challenged, as they say. But
Me too.
My father was a four-sport coach in high school, and he coached football and wrestling and track. And what I did was I gravitated to wrestling. I played football because all my friends played football, but frankly, I was so small, I got the heck knocked out of me every night in practice. It wasn't that much fun, but I was there because my friends was there and my dad was the coach. And but wrestling, I started wrestling when I was 6 years old and wrestled at the boys club. And I did that all through high school and got pretty salty at it and enjoyed it a lot. I think it helped develop me into a lot of the things of discipline and hard work and things that I try to model my own personal behavior around today.
Right. And how did you, okay, we come from high school and then you go to college. How do you get involved in the whole marketing aspect of things?
It's a good question. I went to school. There was a couple things I knew coming out of high school. I knew that I wanted to get to Colorado. I knew I wanted to work for Coors Brewing Company because I took a tour of their brewery and listened to their story and why their products were better, special, and different, and thought it was an amazing story of a family that came to America and planted roots and built a heck of a company. And I also knew I wanted to go to Iowa State because I loved wrestling, and so I went to Iowa State. And I also knew that I wanted to study business because my Uncle Paul, back in the day, it used to be before Amoco was Standard Oil, and they were based up in I think it was Glen Ellen, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago, and I got to meet my Uncle Paul and spend some time with him in his home office in Colorado. And so we would go out and ski a bit and stay with them, and he really got me interested in business. And so leaving college, I was really blessed. I don't know how else to describe it, but I was given an opportunity to go to work for Coors Brewing Company right out of college.
Your dream.
And so I had done some things extra to try to make that happen, and reached out to them while I was still in college and worked in the field with their area representatives just to understand the business and what they did for a living. And lo and behold, when I got out of college, they were starting a new training program for new hires, and they called me and said, "We'd like you to join us for this training program." I said, "I accept." They said, "You don't even know where you're going." I said, "I don't care, I'll accept." So I didn't go to Colorado right away. I ended up being asked to move to Memphis, Tennessee, and learn the business. And while I was with Coors, I was fortunate enough to have an excellent boss, and he helped me move up the ladder a bit. And at the end, I was in Golden, Colorado, and had the true privilege to manage most of our sports and entertainment properties on the western half of the country. And that's how I really saw the power of sports and what it could do for fans, how it motivated fans, and also how it could be leveraged for corporate partners to drive their business. And so I spent 10 years at Coors, did a little bit of that for a few years for Pepsi, and then had an opportunity to, what I say, cross over to the other side of the desk. And I got involved in motorsports in California, in Los Angeles for a while, and then up in the Bay Area. I ran sales and marketing for one of Bruton Smith's tracks out there.
Okay.
And then I was offered, a recruiter who contacted me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in trying something other than motorsports?" And I said, "Sure." And I was fortunate enough to interview for the chief marketing and sales officer position for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I had the absolute privilege to go to work with one of the classiest guys in sports that I think is a gentleman named Kevin McClatchy from the McClatchy newspaper group family. Tremendous guy, tremendous boss. And so we moved to Pittsburgh. That was a tough one. I had to convince my wife that we were going to move from Sonoma wine country to Pittsburgh.
I can imagine.
So we had some discussions about that, and but we fell in love with Pittsburgh because we had our children were very young at that time, very small, and a fantastic city for families with young kids, with the monies that the Heinz and Carnegie and Mellon family have plowed into children's theater, children's museum, children's sports science center. Everything there for kids was world class.
And that was something that you saw being done too, that you could carry over to what you do now.
Absolutely, yeah. And so they had invested so much in that community for kids and opportunity, and so we were in Pittsburgh for a few years. Fortunate enough to host the Major League Baseball All-Star Game and all the surrounding festivities there, which was just chance of a lifetime experience. Just a great group of folks out of New York that partnered with us to put on a heck of a show. Didn't like the winters too much in Pittsburgh. Again, 5 feet tall, that snow gets deep real fast. So we decided that we wanted to get to a little bit warmer climate, and I had tried to leave Mr. Smith's company in good standing, and on my way out, we had put together a naming rights deal for about $34.6 million, I think, over 10 years for Infineon Raceway. At the time, it was the largest single motorsports facility sponsorship in the history of NASCAR, and it stood that test of time for quite a while. But that was a good way to leave, right?
Right.
Here's $34 million. I'm gonna leave now. So when I called, I was again very blessed that my timing was right, and Bruton Smith Marcus invited me back to the company, and so I spent I think 12 years here in Charlotte working for the Smith family, and they were very good to me, and I had a lot of opportunity to help try to reinvigorate the sport of NASCAR for them, and and then the soccer came a calling, and that's how I got here.
And here you are.
That's the path.
Well, yeah, obviously some great experiences. I'm jealous of Pittsburgh Pirates that they're doing that, even though I was an Atlanta Braves fan. I did follow the Pittsburgh Pirates a lot back in that area, back in the day. So, just an amazing career. And what do you see going in the future? You see anything else, or?
Yeah, we have some things to build here. We're so excited about partnering with Mecklenburg County at the American Legion Memorial Stadium. We think it's one of the best stadiums of its size in the country, if not the world, to see a sporting event. So we have an agreement in place that provides us a certain number of dates every year, and we're going to work hard to not only bring our team sports, but bring some really exceptional sporting events and live entertainment events to that facility, and again, to make Charlotte a better place to live through sport. And so, we do the Crown Lacrosse Classic, which is one of the premier college preseason events in the country. We're bringing in the Premier Lacrosse League this summer, and we have plans for many, many other things. And that variety keeps it interesting. So I have no plans to leave anytime soon, and hope that I can help Mr. McPhillamy and his partners be glad that they have a 10-year agreement over there at that beautiful stadium.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you so much.
time with us, Tim, and wish you the best of luck.
It's been great to get to know you.
We're going to talk with one of your athletes here coming up here in just a second. So we'll be right back with the Delano Little Show. Stay with us. Welcome back to Bahakel Sports, the Delano Little Show. We're talking Charlotte Independent Soccer, and with me is Clay Dimick. And we worked on this in the commercial break. You're captain of the team, so it's Captain Clay, and you're a defender, so it's Dimick the defender.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah,
we
you
worked
did
hard
good.
on that, didn't
That
we?
was perfect. Yeah,
Thank you, man. And I heard you're darn near close to perfect
No.
on the field, right?
No, I have a lot of work to do, but
Well, that's always a humble attitude. But you've been playing soccer now for how long?
probably about 20 years now. 27 now. So I started when I was maybe 6 or 7 back home in Georgia.
Okay, back home in Georgia. As you said, what part of Georgia you're from?
Marietta, so right outside of Atlanta.
Okay, and you live right next to the Atlanta Braves SunTrust Field and
Yeah.
everything. But you haven't had a chance to go to a game yet, right?
Not yet. Last year would have been the year to do it with the World Series, but I haven't made it down yet.
Okay, well, good deal. Now, excellence with them winning the World Series, and excellence with you guys on the field. We'll talk to your coach, or your marketing director, so to speak, if you will, the CEO and president. You guys are pretty good this season.
Yeah.
Tell me what's clicking.
Yeah, we definitely have started out strong. So I think we're 5-6 games into the season, and we had about 6 weeks together in preseason. So that was big for everybody to come in and click right away. And then on the field, I think the biggest thing that we've seen together is the fight we have and the chemistry we've built off the field has translated onto the field. So even when things aren't going well and things are kind of against us, we were able to fight through it. And that's been big for us so far.
We talked about the Division I developing players. Do you see that from all the guys feeling that's what that is supposed to be? And do you see a lot of hope from a lot of the players that they want to move up to one day and maybe get to the MLS league or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the big common thoughts throughout the group is that we all want to win here, but we also want to progress our careers, wherever they may be, and always continue to get better as a group, and then individually will follow as well.
Well, you're still very, very young in the game. What are you thinking? What's going on through your mind?
Yeah, so it's a funny question because obviously my answer is to go as big and as far as I can, but I also don't want to think too far ahead, and I just want to be in the moment and hopefully win a championship this year. And obviously when you win, success comes and opportunities come and doors open. So I think taking it one day at a time is something I'm trying to focus on right now.
And I don't think a lot of people think that, you think how you're young, still way less than 30 years old. I won't say exactly what your age is, but you figure out that not only you're trying to do what you're doing on the soccer field, but you have a life off the soccer field and understand that you have a new addition to the family, so to speak.
Yeah.
You want to talk about
Yeah, my wife and I did welcome a baby boy into the world in October. So he's 6.5 months now, and he's at that age where he's crawling everywhere, so we have to watch the stairs and watch all the sharp stuff in the house. But
Right.
It's been different balancing work and soccer and then coming home and still being a dad and husband first and foremost. So
Yeah, but I guess that everything is set up for you to try to succeed. I mean, that's the most important thing. And your wife very much comes to these games all the time, and you want to get the baby involved in soccer at some point, or?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's been on the field after almost every game. So if he doesn't love the game, I don't know what went wrong because he's around it all the time. So.
All right. Well, Captain Clay, Dimick defender.
Yes.
Got it right. Congratulations to you, and we wish you the best moving forward in your career.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming in and talking
Thank
to
you.
us. Good luck. We'll be right back with the Delano Little Show. Stay with us. Welcome back to Bahakel Sports, the Delano Little Show. We're talking Charlotte Independent Soccer today, and we're here with Kelly Flanders. And this is unusual because there's never been a league for this in this, correct?
Yeah, so in the USL, this was the first women's league that we've had in the country. So it's an awesome opportunity to start building out that pathway kind of between college and the NWSL and fill that middle ground. And
you were the first, signee for this team that hasn't even started playing yet, but is very close to starting playing.
Yep.
And how excited are you? I mean, has this been a dream come true, or something you've been looking forward to since you were a kid, or how did this all come about?
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be playing. Being out of college and working full time, it's an awesome opportunity to keep playing and to try to play at the next level. Like you said, we haven't had this before, so this is really the first step into that semi-professional and hopefully future professional level for women in the Charlotte area.
And we all know that women's soccer is doing fantastic. I mean, it's the new equal pay deal that just came out, much deserved. how much have you followed the U.S. Olympic team, and did you kind of grow up watching them, or what?
I did a little bit probably later in my teenage years. Early on, it was hard for me to watch soccer. I just loved to play it so much. I wanted to be out there, but that grew into a motivation for me to want to be out there on the field with players like those Olympic and national team players, because they are so strong and so competitive in the world. It's amazing to watch them play.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now, take me back. You growing up, you said you went to Hopewell High School.
Yeah.
You were a mighty Titan.
Yeah.
Before you got to high school, were you playing soccer before that, and some of the smaller leagues before you got to high school?
Yeah. So I played club all throughout my youth growing up. So the Legacy, Charlotte Independence clubs, I played for Carolina Rapids way back when, which is now part of Charlotte Independence. And then I also got to play for our North Carolina State team for several years in high school before going on to play in college.
Yes, and so you're pretty good. You're center mid, you said, as far as that's concerned. Well, tell everybody that may not know what that is. What exactly do you do on the soccer field?
So being in the center mid, I am kind of the distributor, I guess. I'm getting the ball and helping us transition from the back up to the front and helping to create dangerous plays and really penetrating the other team's back line and trying to create opportunities where we have goal scoring chances.
Okay, and we were talking earlier about how this is, as far as developing players, the leagues that you're in. Do you see that the same way as the W League is going to be that way as well? And what are you looking to get out of this as far as moving forward?
I definitely think it's a great opportunity for players to develop. We've got a lot of girls coming in from collegiate programs, and this is going to be a chance for them to play with other strong players and grow over the summer and learn from different people that they're not usually playing with. And for some of them, they'll get to take that back to their respective programs and help those programs hopefully succeed this fall. For me personally, I don't have a college program to go back to, so I'm just looking for that next opportunity to get to the next level. And if I can play professionally, that's really my goal at the end of the day. So this is a step in that direction.
It's going to be interesting because you got some college people coming in. You were the first signee, but the whole team isn't even set yet. You're still waiting on to find out who your teammates are.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So some people, they're just finishing up exams. So they're trickling in as they wrap those up at school. But each day we get a couple new faces, and it's really great to meet people. And it's been just a joy getting to know them and getting to lead, especially with some of the younger players, and bring them in and kind of show them the culture and the team chemistry and atmosphere that we're looking to create here.
Well, it's been a joy talking to you, and we wish you the best of luck moving forward in your
Thank
career.
you so much.
Hope to see you at the professional level and as you move forward, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have here on Bahakel Sports, the Leno Little Show. We hope to see you next week.